What is going on, Locks Mob, and welcome back to the Friday, February 1st edition of the Locks DFS NHL Breakdown. I'm your host, Narang, and I'll be breaking down this 8-game main slate on DraftKings, FanDuel, and Prize Picks. Before we get into that real quick, my apologies for getting this video out a little bit late. I just caught a 4 a.m. flight from New York, 6 a.m. I should say. I left at 4 a.m., stopped in Atlanta, got here. It was a long trip. But I'm home now, so I'm excited to get this video up for y'all. Hopefully I can get it up to y'all in the next, record and upload in the next hour, so you guys have a lot of time to digest it. But with that also being said, so we're coming off a really big slate yesterday. We were taking advantage of that awful Philadelphia and New York Rangers penalty kills. Both of them allowed power play goals. I think the Rangers allowed 2 of them to Hischier and Johansson. We had them both. On FanDuel, both are on the cheat sheet on DraftKings. Both are mentioned in the video, so should have been a really strong night for members on DraftKings and FanDuel as well. But yeah, let's just jump right into the slate. So finally, we got an 8-game slate. No more 2 and 3 game slates. We got a real hockey slate on hand. So I'm really excited to break this down. As I usually do on bigger slates, I'm just going to talk about a few of my favorite plays at each position, at each price point, and then we'll go from there. So the top option at center is absolutely loaded, the upper tier. I think you can go with a lot of these guys today. Anywhere from, I'll say, 6'3" up is loaded. But even the upper echelon is really, really loaded. Crosby, Matthews, Eichel, Tavares, just those 4 guys are real hard to decide between. I think the guy I want to talk about in this video is Jack Eichel, though. Not a guy that we've talked about a lot in this video, but he does have the best matchup out of all of them. Ottawa, the second worst team expected goals against per 60, which is Pittsburgh's matchup. But Buffalo, Jack Eichel's team, his matchup is Chicago. Expected goals against per 60, last in the league. That number increases on the road as well. So just a god-awful defensive team. Bad at 5v5, bad penalty kill. Should be a real prime spot for this Buffalo first line to take advantage of that. And I think Eichel is the exposure that I'd most heavily want, because I think you can get exposure to Crosby and Evgeny Malkin through some of their cheaper wingers. So if you want exposure to high price center, I think Eichel will be the guy that I go with. But coming down into this little mid-tier range, the other guy I wanted to talk about was Evgeny Malkin at 6.3K. Obviously, not much that needs to be said about Evgeny Malkin. I just want to make sure you guys notice he is 6.3K. Don't gloss over that. I don't know why he's 6.3K in the best possible matchup you could ask for, outside of Chicago, I guess, versus an Ottawa team that's awful defensively. They've been a little better in recent games prior to the All-Star break when they got Thomas Chabot back and they got Matt Duchene back. But unfortunately, their defensive woes continue. So we want to be overweight on Pittsburgh, and getting exposure to Evgeny Malkin at 6.3K is a lock for me. Not too much I want to talk about in the lower range of center. I think Backlund's an interesting option, and I think this is as cheap as you'll ever see Evgeny Kuznetsov. So if you want to go there, that's a fine option. No Ovechkin, so he may be asked to do a little bit more offensively. But I don't know if I'll be dipping down into this range tonight. Moving on to winger, I think you can almost obviously when you're playing, you can't just ignore this top half. But for the sake of this video, since I know you guys don't really like when I talk about the superstars and the studs, let me come down a little bit, skip this top half. All these guys are in play, but I think better point per dollar value comes down here about 6'3", 6'2", and below. First guy I want to talk about, Jeff Skinner. I Corsi for around 15 for Buffalo. That's around the same as Jack Eichel leading the team respectively. These 2 guys shoot the puck a lot. I think they make a really good stack. They correlate together, obviously, on the first team power play and at 5v5. So I think getting exposure to Skinner's been shooting the puck like crazy. I think he's got an individual shooting percentage of close to 18, which is incredibly high even for a guy of his skill set. Jack Eichel, on the other hand, is around 5%, which is low for a guy of his skill set. So I would expect a little more puck luck coming Jack Eichel's way as far as the goal scoring department goes, but a lot of those assists could definitely go to Jeff Skinner. He's a guy that I'm really, really looking at on the slate at what is a really fair point, a fair price point. And 2 other guys that are actually at really fair price points that I want to talk about, almost 3. I'll go ahead and make it 3 just for the sake of this video, but these Pittsburgh guys, Gensel, Phil Kessel at 6K, Gensel at 5.8K, and Patrick Hornquist at 5.3K. All three of those guys shoot the puck a ton. Gensel skating with Sidney Crosby at 5v5 and correlating. Oh, wait, no, sorry. He's on the second team power play. I meant to say Kessel skating at 5v5 with Evgeny Malkin and correlating on the first team power play. So if you want to stack the power plays as well as like line mates, then Kessel, Malkin. But I think Crosby, Gensel as well is just as potent of a stack. Give you some exposure to the second team power play in case they score. But I think you really want to be overweight on these Pittsburgh wings. Obviously, Patrick Hornqvist, he's on the third line, but he still got that first power play unit role. So at 5.3K, leading the team in ICorsi 4 per 60, he is most definitely in play as well. That's probably as low as I'm going to go in this video. We'll have more value on the cheat sheet, of course, as always. If you guys haven't, if you haven't looked at locksdfs.com for hockey or basketball, make sure you're checking that out. I don't talk about the company enough. I talk mainly about the slate, a little bit about prize picks. But if you guys haven't joined yet, locksdfs.com, make sure you are joining. We can definitely make you better all-around DFS players, all-around sports bettors. It's just a great place to be. But anyways, let's move on to defense. So coming in at the top, my top option is going to be Chris Letang. Feels a little weird saying because you guys know how big of a fan I am of Mark Giordano, especially in this. He's got a great matchup versus the Washington team that's bottom 5 in the league in expected goals against per 60 at home. So now they're without Ovechkin. So Calgary could certainly smash here, but give me Chris Letang. The guy skates 27 minutes a night, has the best possible matchup, shoots the puck a ton, very offensive-minded defenseman. He's going to be out there for almost the entire power play. So I want all the Chris Letang exposure I can get in this matchup, all the Pittsburgh D. I said all the Pittsburgh D, but it's really just him. So he's definitely far and away my top option. I think my favorite mid-price option, though, sort of this 5K range, is probably Rasmus Ristolainen. Again, just correlating this Buffalo stack. I think Buffalo's in a real prime spot to put up quite a few goals. This game could actually shoot out Buffalo in the bottom 10 expected goals against per 60 as well. So if you want to bring this back with someone like a Patrick Kane or a Jonathan Toews, I think that's that's not a bad idea to game stack that in tournaments. But yeah, so Jack Eichel, the big news is that Rasmus Ristolainen is on the first power play instead of Rasmus Dahlin, who we've seen there for majority of the season. And Risto is going to give you that really, really high minutes floor, really high shot and block shot upside. Going to skate somewhere in the neighborhood of 23 to 25 minutes, which is awesome at this price range. So if you're looking for a safe mid-tier defenseman, I think Rasmus Ristolainen would be my guy. And then to give you guys a sleeper, just because I'm a huge fan of him, is Lawrence. Actually, I couldn't even tell you how to pronounce his name. I'm just a fan. But it's Lawrence Pilut, however you say his name. The guy's not been in the lineup the past couple games. He's just been a healthy scratch. Just a young defenseman who has their typical defensive woes. He's really, really talented offensively, as we see with a lot of these young defensemen that get called up. Shot the puck a ton in the minors. A guy you definitely want to expose you to every time he draws in the lineup at this price. And it doesn't say it right now, but I wouldn't be surprised if we saw him on this power play 2 role. We saw him get a lot of power play 2 time last time he was called up. He recorded 5 points in 14 games, which isn't that bad for a 2.8K player. So double check that he's going to draw into the lineup, but it's already been confirmed that he is. So unless it's like a late decision, then he should be in the lineup. And if he is, I think he makes for a fine punt in order to fit in some of these studs that we want. Let me jump over to prize picks real quick, though, because for those of you who have watched this entire video, I want to go ahead and give away a free prize pick for you guys because I really appreciate it. And that is going to be Rasmus Ristolainen over 4 versus the Blackhawks. Like I talked about, I'm big on Buffalo in this matchup. I think Rasmus has a floor of around 2.5 to 3 points in this matchup just on shots on goal and block shots alone, and I most definitely think he records a point. So I think he gets over 4 in this spot. So, yep. And with that being said, let's move over to goalie real quick. We'll talk about it really, really quick. As always, look at your team, see what players you got, and then correlate your goalie with that so that if your players do well, your goalie does well, hopefully, gets the win. One news of note that I will give is that Matt Lagasse, however you say his name, he is drawing into the lineup for Vegas as their goaltender. So it's not Marc-Andre Fleury, it's not Malcolm Subban, it's Maxime Lagasse. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But He's 7.7K, and the only reason I bring him up is because he's going against Carolina, who we all know loves to throw the puck at the net. They lead the league in shots for per game, and like 14 or 15 of their guys have an I-Corsi for per 60 over 12. So their sort of MO is to shoot the puck from everywhere. And so Maxime Lagacé, I should really stop saying it if I don't know how to say it, but that guy, the Vegas goalie, should be in position to record or to see quite a few shots and in turn record quite a few saves. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy, go ahead and leave a like, comment, and subscribe on the video, or just do one. But if you do all three of them, then you will be entered into winning a free season pass of your choice, whether that be NBA, NHL, NFL, whatever you want. Just let us know. We announce that winner every Sunday or Monday in Taylor's video. So go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to be entered into winning that. I appreciate all you guys watching this video as always. I hope you win a ton of money tonight, and I will see you all tomorrow. Peace.